everybody, and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Bill, I'm a D&D Sex Bulge, and I'm back today with the full cast and crew of Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs to play Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs. So let's do that. Let's go and talk about Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs before we play Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs. Is it me, or is the word bowels starting to sound really weird? But we have Jim Davis back with us today. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Will, and good to be here with the Warhammer Sex Bow, playing Beneath Dark Bow. So, and I'm doing good. I really hope my power doesn't go out. It has been winking on and off all week, so if it does, I will be back as soon as I can. Rest assured, because I gotta know what happens to our intrepid party of paranoid witch hunters. Are they going to turn on each other, or are they going to figure out who their real enemy is?
Incredible. Yes, seems like the Chaos Chorus have been affecting your internet throughout the on a power
has.
And it looks like you have embraced darkness,
yes.
Jim, at the moment. So, this is like, I want to do it before and after of, like, you know, starting Beneath Dark Boughs, happy chirpy Jim with like good lighting and like warm colors and, you know, like a scarf on, and then like, this is the winter of our discontent. Jim, about 8 episodes later. It's amazing. We have, of course, back with us tonight, Jonathan Pruitt. How you doing, Pruitt?
I am doing excellent, sir. It's time for a little Warhammer. Just introduced a new character last week, Aemon, Magister of the Blue Winds of Azure. Can't wait to see what if he stays alive long enough to help the party steer in the right direction. So we shall see, but I can't wait to get to it.
Absolutely. And of course, we have Charlie back with us tonight. Charlie, how you doing?
Hello, I am doing good. I'm so excited. It's Warhammer Wednesday. Yidris is mentally broken in pretty much every way she could be, but I think the tides are about to turn. I think we're about to have a 5-second good fortune, maybe. Please. Probably not. But yeah, no, last week was a big one. Like, I genuinely had this hope we were all gonna make it, and the tides turned on us. But shout out to Chaos Chorus and to the Discord crew who have been keeping us entertained all week between sessions. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Absolutely. Of course, we have Alice back with us tonight. Alice, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Again, I think like everyone else, we've been talking about it and thinking about it all week, because I think we all have a Warhammer addiction problem now, especially after last week, losing Alero. That was just intense, and meeting the new character. I think Nora's probably the most sane left in the group, literally watching the chaos around her. So yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes.
Great stuff. And of course, last and most least, we have Gareth back with us tonight. Gareth, don't know how you keep like getting into this call, but I guess now you're here, you can stay. How's it going?
I mean, the restraining order doesn't limit me to video calls. Thank you very much, Will. The judge was quite specific. I'm really good. I tried to eat an ice cream in the 4 minutes that I had before stream, but I didn't finish it, so it's slowly melting in my hand. I don't know what to do with it at this point, so I'm just going to hold on to it. This is my life,
of tragedies.
And I've just realised I've taken on I've had to tear my fan off, and I've taken kind of a blushed pork look. This weather is not suitable for fat people. Can we change it, please?
I thought for a moment it was just lying in your lap, melting on your crotch. Again,
that video was just for you, Will. You'd never tell anyone about that. That was a Viennetta, and that was just between friends.
Viennetta between friends. Whew. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. But as we unmode yourself, of course, I am playing Matthias, the human vampire hunter. That's who I am. I love Sigmar, damn it.
Not even is he anymore.
Who am I? Who am I gambling? Yeah. He's going a little bit off the tracks as well. His faith in Sigmar is perhaps shaken, but you've got to have faith. So we're going to see how today goes. Before we dive into the game, of course, I remind you guys we're sponsored here by fancygrounds.com. Go to fancygrounds.com. They've got a huge Steam Summer Sale on, actually, so just pop open your Steam app while it's annoyingly downloading things in the background for you, throttling your internet so you can't stream properly. That's my entire experience of Steam. But go there and check out Fantasy Grounds, 25% off across the board, along with higher discounts on various of their other products. Now is the best time ever to get involved in Fantasy Grounds and play your own games of Warhammer, because 4th edition is on the horizon, yo. You've got to get ready for it. Also, WaylandGames.co.uk, they sell all of the Warhammer minis that you could possibly ever want. So if you play Warhammer at home, you want to get your own role-playing game together, then you can get some minis for it as well over at WaylandGames.co.uk for up to 20% off the retail value. I always said that wrong. Also, you can interact as days. Tweet for you guys, 20 retweets. We had some really interesting ones last week, and by really interesting, I mean fuck you. Also, you can follow to enjoy the show. I love you guys, so it's okay. If you haven't followed yet, be sure to hit the follow button and join us. Last but not least, donate to affect the game. Give players Nat 1s, Nat 20s, Wild Magic Surges, and of course, actual Cannibal Shire the buff. Check the donation panel down below for more. Speaking of which, we already have a Wild Magic Surges to Eamon and for Matthias from Biohazard to kick things off. We'll get rolling those. We'll get looking them up for the inevitable tide. But Jim, I'll hand back to you, my friend, to remind us what happened last week on a very eventful episode of Beneath Dark Boughs.
It was very eventful. Eventful indeed. The party had survived an attack by a Beastagore champion of Khorne and its war band against the party who were holed up in Bearvold Keep, where they had been questioning several of the inhabitants, including the Markcraft. A surge of chaos blew over, and the Beastmen attacked, and our party narrowly prevailed, slaying both the Beastman, the reanimated corpse of one of their interrogation victims, as well as the bloodletter demon that came out of that corpse once it was slain. Then Alero, possessed by a demon, attempts to slay one of the members of the party that would drive the furthest wedge between the rest of the group. And Matthias was forced to strike Alero down. The witch Califar laughing gleefully as Bearvold Keep burns around the party. She leads them on a mad chase through the twisting timber hallways of the keep as it burns around them. And it is there that Matthias strikes Alero's witch down, taking her head, and the party escapes through the postern gate and down the hill from the keep, burying Alero by a creekside before making their way through the dark forests to the Herdstone, which lies at the heart of this forested valley. So,
amazing.
I believe where we left off, is the party had found a curious figure who, a magister of the College of Heavens, according to his paperwork. But you're at this Herdstone with all these trophies and fetishes and the like. It's very dark here. Nora's illumination, while providing light, doesn't quite get the whole Herdstone at once, so there's always a part of it that seems to fall into shadow. And I believe we'd left off as the party spotted a familiar face, Alero's head hanging from the Herdstone, taunting them. And that's where we'll pick it up.
So, my magic surge is that no memory, record, or evidence exists of about the last 50 seconds or so. So I forget like the last minute. Maybe seeing Alero's face sort of like sends me into a moment of shock, and I kind of forget where I am for a bit.
And that would probably include the checking out Eamon's papers.
Right.
So,
and Eamon's, do you want to read yours up?
yeah, apparently my weapon spins rapidly around me, around my axis for 1d10 turns. So for the next about 50 seconds, like basically he lets go of his staff and it kind of just orbits around him as he's like folding his papers up since they've already been checked. And he like looks at Alero's head and goes, she did arrive as my dream foretold.
Wait, is that 1d10 or 10d10?
Oh yeah, 10d10.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 10d10.
Sorry. It just might be significant.
So for 48
I'm really sorry
turns.
to interrupt.
Yeah, so
that's okay.
for the next
5 minutes.
It's about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of let go of my staff, and it's just kind of orbiting around me. But he's pretty much just like, so, what is our next step? We're here to destroy the corrupt Herdstone, is it not?
I look in confusion back to Eamon. Whew. Who are you? Let me see your papers.
Of course. Eamon kind of looks from Matthias to everyone else in the group and pulls his papers back out, unfolds them. As you can see, I'm a Magister of the College of the Heavens. I've mastered the Blue Wind, and I'm here to help you. I was dispatched at your request.
I looked through the papers. I see. What is that doing there?
It appears that chaos works against us even now. Trying to break your spirit, Matthias. Trying to take your eye off the goal, off the prize.
Know us.
Your head witch hunter told me of you, but I have seen each and every one of your faces in my dreams. When I look at my reflecting pool and see the future, I see your face. I see us together, fighting against the great struggle.
See. Give me I not feel myself. The recent events. We've lost a friend.
Yes.
But perhaps Sigmar has sent you to us.
Yes. He guides my hand in manipulating the winds, and I will bend the winds to your will, Matthias. Just ask, and I will help you find the way.
That kind of emerges. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he was just remembering his name. It's got coming back to him.
Rat kind of emerges from behind the trees with his gun kind of still held out. What does someone hang around the chaos throne for? What are you doing here?
Well, I mean, I'm here attempting to unmake the unnatural works that you see made upon it. Why, I would ask you the same question, Rat. Why are you here?
We are here to stop the madness that has ravaged this land, to stop death, to stop the destruction. We don't crouch in front of shrines looking like we're more trouble than we're worth. Did you see who put that up there? And he'll point to Elero's head.
I did not. I've only been here a short time. And Rat, I work for the same thing. I might work in a different way than you are used to. But do know that our goals, they are in alignment. Kind of looks up, much like the stars for tonight in this meeting. We walk the same path.
We'll see about that. And Rat will kind of look at Elero's head. We need to get it down.
Idris
isn't right.
Has been staring at this head as she suddenly remembers that Alera existed and everything about that. And she's gonna turn to Rat and nod that we need to get this down. And she'll take the cloak from around her shoulders because she doesn't know that she has anything else that'll do, and she'll cover the head. So that we can kind of carefully remove it without having to like poke Alera in the eyeballs or anything horrible.
Califar's head starts laughing as Yidris moves to take Alero's head off of the Herdstone. Just that.
I unhook it from my belt, where it's hooked on there, and kind of like hold it up to me in a very Shakespearean moment for Matthias as I look at this like shrunken head, and I'm gonna turn and head still facing me, look to Eamon and say, "If you are truly sent by Sigmar, then you will prove your worth." And I throw the head all along the ground of Califar towards Eamon.
What do you ask of me? You want me to destroy this? Do you want me to look into the future? How will you want me to prove myself?
I do not need you looking into visions and portents on this witch. Her end has come for her, and yet still she lingers. There is only one true trial, and that is by fire. I'm asking you if you can be a witch hunter like us. If you can purge the heretic.
Well, I may not be versed in fire. It is not part of our school, though those of the Red Wind have their place. But what I can do, and he kind of like closes his eyes for a brief second and kind of like reaches out, and you start to feel like the hairs on your arms kind of raises. There's kind of a static electricity in the air. Jim, I'm going to do a channeling roll to allow me to give a bonus of my magic characteristic on the spell I'm about to cast.
Yep.
You
find it.
Magic here in a second as well. Oh boy!
I'm going to use a fortune point.
I was gonna say you find it ridiculously easy to call the winds of magic here, so it is an easy task to channel.
Oh, plus 30.
Nah, easy is a routine. I keep getting my modifiers reversed.
Routine's 10, maybe.
Routine is 10, not easy. You find that. With that, that's only good. That's still a barely a failure.
Still 94. Yeah. No. I'm going to use a fortune point.
Okay.
And seeing as how I want to look good at the outset.
Do my
so, yeah.
spidey senses start going off as the spell starts briefly going awry?
You can make me a willpower roll for that sixth sense, and when you roll this test, Pruitt, you have an extra D10 if you wish to use it.
The channeling test?
Not the channeling test, the casting roll.
Oh, the casting roll. Okay. No. I'm going to... my channeling test went through, so it's a plus 3 I get. So I'm... I'm going to use... something. I'm gonna let that energy pour into the spell.
Okay.
But I was only gonna do 2 of my dice, so I guess that would be 3. There's a double. The spell does go off.
The spell does go off, but not without a hitch.
Not without a light interference.
Yeah.
A little light interference from the Lord of Change.
Before demon summoned.
Before demon summoned.
Yidris sensing this, I'm guessing it's going to feel like a swell of wild magic. She knows what that feels like.
She knows what that feels like.
She know what that feels like.
Okay.
She'll kind
not
of
that
reach
bad.
out and put an arm in front of Matthias to kind of start moving him back away from Eamon, not sure where it's coming from, what's happening, but knowing it's coming towards us.
Okay.
Eamon, you call down your lightning, and you can feel just for a moment the winds as they course through you, perhaps a bit too much, before you regain control of the spell, and milk, wine, and food spoil, curdle, and go sour within 10 yards of Eamon.
As I as I kind of was gathering that energy in my palm, you see like a flicker of light, and then he opens his palm, and lightning like streaks straight down to the head, and does auto hits, but it does 9 damage.
Yeah.
To the head itself.
Sweet.
And he kind of shakes his head a little bit. Chaos, it is rampant here. The manipulation of the winds is troublesome. I can't imagine what you have been going through on your approach here.
It has been a long journey. But now perhaps we can make a stand against these creatures of shadow and darkness that have plagued us. Perhaps you have been sent by Sigmar. By... Oh god, I've forgotten his name. Jagen Kroppen Jaeger. Kroppen Jaeger.
Augustus
Ruben.
Crook, right?
Augustus Crook. He only has like 5 titles.
Yeah.
Augustus Crook.
Perhaps you have been sent by Augustus. To quickly bust through these wild magic surges, for Yidris, once per week, she can only speak in rhyme for 1 hour. She feels as though one of her arms is being amputated. And Nora demands that her allies adopt fastidious hygiene standards to keep out the chaos.
Clean out your beards. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. So we're at the Herdstone.
Right.
And it's pretty late at this point, right?
It is. I mean, between Eamon's marsh lights and Nora's radiant brilliance, the area is fairly well lit. But it's dark. It's before midnight, but well past sunset.
So I'm going to suggest that with the arm that Yidris reached out to block the fires, that's the arm that she feels like is being amputated.
Alright.
As the wild magic is swirling around. A little bit after the spell's gone off, so we don't necessarily think it's Eamon's doing, but it's still like that arm. Because it was being
Gotcha.
held out against wild magic. And
It
she
was like
will
a creeping
scream
feeling.
appropriately. Yeah.
Mhm.
The rending feeling.
Eamon, then. That should introduce Rat, Idris, and Nora. Well, I suppose you already know who we are. But tell us,
I
what
love you.
What can we do with this Herdstone here?
Jim, as I turn and since I have been kind of studying this thing for a brief time before they arrived, can I make like a magic sense roll or whatever, like maybe to think about looking for weaknesses before I get because I do have a spell that like Starshine that reveals like hidden things.
Right.
It's mostly for like invisibility and getting rid of darkness and stuff, but I don't know. I didn't want to have to go there.
It would reveal a lot about a place like this. You've been here a lot enough to know that there is a thick carpet of debris underneath the grass and dirt that's around here. The winds of Gyron and Gur, life and beasts, flow heavily here. And there is a ever-present touch of the ether of chaos around you. But it's not necessarily focused on this stone. It's old and like an old coat of paint as opposed to the vibrancy of the winds of life and beasts.
So the stone has been tainted. That this was initially meant for something good, but has been corrupted. Yes. And like Eamon looks like he's having a conversation with someone.
How do we destroy it?
Perhaps we could purify it with fire. I do not know if that would burn out the chaos. I'm not sure that we can destroy the stone itself. It is an old thing. Chaos has not destroyed it, it has merely corrupted it.
Ermelinda's been sitting by the on the edge of the clearing while all this is going on. He speaks true. These stones are as old as anyone remembers, and are central to Talight's worship.
I see. Well, I look around us. We're pretty tired. Like, we've been fighting. Alero's died. We've really taken a break, and I think the fire's finally relents and says, "Well, is it safe for us to rest here for a night?"
There's a safe place nearby. Just a little longer.
Take us there.
As you leave the clearing,
Rat is 100% going to set fire to this thing. I'm going to stick woods on it. Like, as soon as he mentioned fire, I'm burning this fucking thing.
okay. Rat, as you get up
Unless
close
anyone
to
stops
it,
me, yeah.
Okay, so Rat's already gathering firewood to lay at the base of it. There's a bunch of stuff at the base. You see bowls full of what is now looks like sour beer, as well as spoiled blood cakes and the like. And there's all sorts of little wicker offerings that are hanging off of it. And as Rat is piling up the wood, you find two that look remarkably familiar in terms of their shape and construction. And they remind Rat of himself and Nora. Finds that amongst the debris as he's piling wood at the base of this standing stone.
Has anyone else spotted these things?
I think you're the only one that's really gotten close to like the base of it and has like inspected it or anything. It seems like everybody else has been either focused on the head or just taking it all in.
My wild magic surge, perhaps at a fitting moment, is that all of us within 50 yards levitate 1d6 feet for 2d6 rounds as soon as he like picks up the doll.
Yeah.
Put us down, Rat. Put us down. Put us down.
We knew he was a caster.
Oh yeah, right.
It's not helping Rat, like, at all.
It's not helping Rat. All right.
Put it down,
So
Rat.
for about
With the arm that's not in agony because I think it's being amputated, I'm going to draw my saber and point it at Rat.
I don't know. I touched these things. And
Yidris, and at that, like, Eamon is going to like take his hand and be like, "You just want to drop that, please." And I'm gonna need a willpower test, as I basically tell you to drop that sword.
Idris, the weak-willed.
My spell goes off without a hitch, no surge or
no
anything.
doubles.
That's it. Like, if you fail, then the blade just drops from your hand. Please, this is not the time to turn on each other. That is exactly what chaos does. It drives wedges. It makes you question your friends, your allies.
He speaks the truth. Alero would still be alive now if we had not been betrayed. Put it down, Rat.
Rat is just kind of gyrating like on weird axes because he's spinning. He doesn't know what to do, and whatever direction he is, he lets go of these things.
Yeah, the little wicker figures. They're like corn husk dolls. You know, if you've ever seen something like that, with like someone took the time to make little clothes for them, which resemble Rat and Nora. And they clatter to the ground.
I was gonna say.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm getting to be full at the same time.
These like the action figures
How's
that we're
that?
going to license out, you know?
Your very own corn husk rat doll.
Get your torch gripped by a doll. Comes
Next
with a torch
Kickstarter.
in each hand.
For you to burn it.
Yeah. Comes with a free box of matches.
Witches with before and after burn damage.
Yeah. So Rat drops these
Do we
dolls.
immediately drop as soon as I let go of them?
Wow, you guys are only in the air about half a minute. So when do you drop them?
I imagine it's kind of after I've realised that I'm spinning rapidly in space.
It's not immediate.
Yeah.
It takes a minute. It takes a couple seconds.
Also, Nora's not a fan of height, so she's just closed her eyes, just like, nope, it's not happening. So,
Our little levitating beacon.
I just...
Yeah, Eamon looks calm as anything. He's just sitting here waiting for the winds to pass.
I only picked it. It looked like Nola. What does this mean?
That is the problem with this place, Rat. The winds, they react weirdly to those that interact with this stone. If we purified it might help.
That's what I was trying to do. Sigmar will cleanse it. Matthias says Sigmar's fire cleanses. Isn't that right, Matthias?
Yes. That. It has been a long day. Even Sigmar must sleep. Let's find some clarity and rest. And attack refreshed and anew in the morning.
As you all settle to the ground, Ermelinda looks around. We should get going. Not much further, but we will be safe. And Ermelinda leads the way. Lieutenant Hung brings up the rear. And the party journeys for about less than an hour further eastward.
To, shoulder check Eamon on the way past. Just like full on whack him with my good shoulder. And say, don't cast on me again. And just trudge on with my sword snatched up. And Alari's head is in my bag. We're not leaving that shit behind, right? Or did we set fire to that?
Yeah, the lightning bolt was for Califar's head, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
What are
yeah.
we doing with Alari's head?
And so then,
Hopefully fried that thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's smashed and it's a charred spot on the ground. But Idris just has it wrapped up in a cloth. Valero's head in her cloak.
As we're walking away, can I do a sneaky pickup? I'm only going to pick up the husk that looks like me. I just want to try and pick it up again.
All right, gotcha. I think there's a sleight of hand.
Sneaky pickup of last.
I don't think I'll
tie my shoe here.
In that case, just give me an agility.
Just gonna commit heresy over here, don't worry about it.
17, the perfect number.
Oh,
I was just saying how hard I hit Eamon in the arm. Don't mind.
Roll for bullying.
success.
Roll willpower or be triggered.
Right. So, Ermelinda leads the party on a journey that takes about less than an hour. And on the way there, she sort of wants to talk to Eamon, for the most part. How long have you been in the valley?
I began walking through less than a week ago. My path along the stars was led right here.
How much have you eaten of the
Thankfully.
local food?
I have eaten none thus far. My stores have run out, though.
And the
yesterday,
water?
in fact. Again, I had brought enough water to get me here. But I will have to start eating and drinking. It has not looked particularly nourishing.
It will start to creep in regardless, but if you can avoid eating and drinking the local fare, you will hold it off longer.
I appreciate your knowledge and wisdom.
She leads along Be careful. She sort of nods back.
Did you...
You've been through a great deal.
That much is quite obvious. Did you school at Altdorf?
You know that the Jade College doesn't have... They have a college there, but it's like an old rundown... No. I did my training, apprenticeship with my mistress quite some time.
And Eamon kind of nods like he was asking her a trick question that she answered correctly.
Right. But I've also been initiated into the Ryan Mysteries. Priestess. And she will keep up small talk as much as possible. The woods seem peaceful, and it's just a pleasant walk. There's sort of a soft starlight that filters through the trees. And the whole walk from where you're at to the destination you end up is not like the walk getting here. Getting here, the forest felt claustrophobic, the darkness very oppressive, like it was hungrily eating away at Nora's light. Here, it retreats to the edges of the light and stays there. But as you work your way through the forest, you come across a ruined building in a sort of a clearing within the woods. We are here. You may find shelter inside. I'm going to make sure that the surrounding woods are safe.
What was this before?
As she turns and looks back at Nora. It was the temple to Sigmar. Before the troubles.
She just nods and walks in.
And it indeed, the layout and sort of floor plan of it is, it's laid out like a typical rustic Sigmarite church. There was once sort of a steeple or a tower of some kind that's fallen in. None of the walls are intact. There's no roof left or anything. Let's see. Uh-oh. Do we have somebody with power out? Oh, never mind. My bad. I thought Will left because he had power outages. Oops. This whole temple is overgrown. There's trees growing through what would have once been a courtyard, a fallen down well that's partially collapsed. But you do get a sense of just ease here. You don't get the tension that you felt elsewhere within the forest.
I'm going to a campsite, please.
It's an old shrine to Sigma.
Oh, cool. Oh, sexy.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's an old Sigmarite, sort of a rustic temple, partially ruined and overgrown. Ermelinda said it was burned down during the Troubles, so about 10, 15 years ago.
Is the floor of it like a stumped or a flattened dirt floor? Or is it like a proper...
This is like a proper building. Someone took the time to...
Stone floor?
Stone. So Nora is going inside. Ermelinda is checking the surrounding woods. What's everybody else doing?
Matthias is immediately inspired by seeing the old shrine. He's going to go inside with Nora.
Okay.
And is there a spot, since you said this is burned out, Eamon will kind of just do a very, very lazy walk around the inside, looking for any place like maybe that the ceiling has been burned in so you can see the starlight from inside.
It's entirely open to the stars. There is no roof. It's collapsed in and has been overgrown. Yeah.
Well, then Eamon will walk up to the altar, wherever that would be, and he'll pull his pack down and sit down and pull kind of a flat dish, probably, not even a foot in diameter, very, very small lip, and he sits it down and pulls out a flask and begins pouring a liquid into it and lets it settle until he can see the reflection of the starlight in it. and he begins mumbling and whispering to himself. And I'm going to do a channeling roll and then cast Omen. And I'm going to ask the Azure Wind if it is favorable to purify the Herdstone with fire. Like if that is a favorable action. Is what my goal is.
Okay.
So I just hit my channeling roll.
Yep.
That means I can add 3 to my roll, and I'm only going to use 1 die because the number I need to hit is 4. So technically, even if I roll a 1, I hit my number.
Roll a 1.
So there's
One's
no chance of any kind
failure.
of a 1 is always okay. Well, it's good to know that. But anyway, so yes, I passed because that's a 8. And so yes, I'm going to do. It's a very limited look into the future.
I make an intelligence test for you. It's secret. So give me just a second here. So there is a look at the stars in your bowl. I guess you're like looking for the arrangement of them, and sort of with the arrangement of the clouds around them, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And you have a sense that the magic that taints and corrupts this place has a source still further east, and that the Herdstone is more symbolic. The taint, that is.
More symbolic. Okay. Once I finish my divinations there, I will seek out Matthias.
Okay.
Well,
Eamon's been
that
performing
was
some
very
divinations.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look for like a hearth or some sort of like a fire? I imagine like a Temple of Sigmar is going to have some sort of like a fireplace somewhere.
Right.
So I'd like to look for one of those, and I want to lay out the rat's head of a Lero in it, and start going through my bag. I have no idea what's in there, and I'm going to pull out stuff to lay a fire, and I want to take out some of those medicinal herbs that the dwarves had and kind of set it up so it's kind of like a cleansing burn. The idea in Yidris's head being like, if we can do this here on what she thinks of the consecrated ground, like Alero's going to be left to rest permanently, and she wants to just burn the head. Because burying it didn't work. We're now going to burn it on sacred ground. And the medicinal herbs are like the best thing she has to compare to sage. That sort of thing.
Take the head out. It's just a deer skull. It's still got like part of its skin, attached to it, and it's rotten. It looks like someone just put a hacked off deer head there. But that's the only head that you have wrapped up in your cloak.
I'm gonna doubt my mind, and I'm still gonna burn the crap out of it.
Okay.
Because there is magic all over this thing.
It's very true.
And it would be
Very
nice to have a fire to keep warm.
So Yidris has gone off. Everyone can see sort of the soft glow of a fire coming from where she went. How about Rat, Nora, and Matthias?
Matthias has followed Nora in to the temple, but he's going to be lighting candles all around it. So he'd be carrying with him just like simple candles, like tallow, and set them up around the ruins of this place in order to just bring some light to it, literally, and just sort of metaphorically light of Sigmar. And we do have a viewer decision, Jim. So
I'll give that some thought.
Okay. But he is preparing with like a low chant this sort of cleansing ritual / exorcism, and he feels like this is the right place to do it.
So you start preparing this, and how about Rat and Nora?
Nora's probably, first of all, she's just watching Matthias, probably quite intrigued because she doesn't normally get to see this sort of thing, and then she'll probably spot Yidris stood doing what she's doing and wander over to there and sort of stand silently beside her, not saying anything, but just, again, observing.
It was not her head, Nora. It was a trick. Another deception.
Nora sort of shrugs and says, I expect that from most things around here now. I don't... there's not much I trust anymore.
I understand the feeling. And she'll give Nora like a burning piece of tinder to add to the fire so that Nora can contribute to the semi-ritualistic action going on.
Nora will probably take a seat and actually just start maybe poking the fire a little bit, move it about, and then throw the wood on. And just probably stare at the flames.
Staring at the flames while Yidris sort of ritually burns away what is, in fact, as Nora sees, a rotting deer head.
She says nothing.
Says nothing.
It seems to be helping Yidris.
It does. It seems. I get the sense that Yidris is taking everything out of her bag so that she can see it all at once and know what she has. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, she knows there's something in the bag. She can feel the weight, and she knows it must be important. And there's the book. She knows about the book. She can't forget about the book. But then there's all this other stuff, and she's just like taking it out and hoping there's stuff and answers in here that she can use, kind of reclaim herself a bit and take some control over this situation.
Gotcha.
By the way, guys, the viewer decisions in chat, which is when the party next to the Mark Graf, what state is he in?
Mark Graf mysteriously disappeared a couple of sessions ago. Escaped from the party's grasp. And so how about Rat? What's Rat been up to as you guys first enter this ruined Sigmarite church?
So I imagine Rat's kind of sat himself down in maybe a darkly lit corner which hasn't been lit by Matthias yet. I imagine he kind of sits himself in a corner, propping his back up against the wall, and he begins to kind of reach into his pocket and idly turn this effigy of himself. It starts off with him just kind of examining it, and then he just reverts back to this person that's never really had a childhood, and he just starts idly playing with it as if it's a toy, walking it around, just kind of forgetting the world outside for a few blissful minutes.
All right. The party makes themselves comfortable within the walls of this old church, and after 10 minutes, Ermelinda comes back, and she's accompanied by 3 wolves. One of them red-furred, the other 2, the gray fur of the other wolves. And Red Wolf turns herself back into her human self, and I saw that the defenders held off as many of the beastmen as they could as the castle burned. I led the survivors back to Obelheim, where Herr Scheuermann remains with the remnant of the road wardens. She's always giving you the impression that she just sort of like talks at people.
She's saying this to all of us, but I guess we're separated, so just Nora and Yidris.
Actually, I would say Nora and Yidris are the first people that Ermelinda and Red Wolf come across. I forgot. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, because I was going to tell Matthias about my omen. That's whatever it is to the east.
All right. Sweet. So do Nora and Yidris, when Ermelinda and Red Wolf come across you, are you guys still just real busy with your burnings?
If anything, Nora looks up at them. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
Okay. Nora looks up and says, "You should tell Matthias." And she sort of continues to watch Yidris.
Yidris is
You
gonna
seem-
nod because, like, literally, as she hears the information, it doesn't mean anything to her. She has no place or no faces in her head to associate these things with.
Mhm.
She gets the impression it's good news, but she can't really react. She doesn't know.
Both Nora and Yidris make me perception tests. Yidris, you can make yours at like -30. It seems like you're otherwise occupied.
Yeah, no, that's a big old
Oh,
fail.
yeah, so-
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been bad for both. Okay. They seem to linger for a minute before both of them walking on into the main chamber, leaving both Nora and Yidris. I guess they'll find Eamon and Matthias discussing something. Rat, you're in one of the more unlit corners there. So, what are Eamon and Matthias talking about?
You'd find Matthias, who has like stripped himself of his armor and weapons that are on the side, and he's on his knees by the altar of Sigmar.
Okay.
Seemingly, it's sort of quiet meditation, but his sort of head will perk up as he hears Eamon stepping towards him.
Matthias, we should travel east. The Herdstone is merely a ritual thing at this point. The true power lies to the east. Do you know what resides there?
More chaos. Perhaps the heart of all of this. Maybe let the Markgraf or whatever controls him is there. The Brayherds.
Well, that is the direction that the stars have pointed me.
Then let us hope that your stars are honest with you.
Well,
I feel like
believe that
many of us have not been honest with one another while we've been traveling together.
this can occur. Some people believe that they are saving their friends by small measures, little omissions, to not distract from the greater issue at hand. But even that can wear away at trust. I do agree. Open, honest communication is key. But they have to trust you, Matthias. Just walk in Sigmar's light.
I feel like I not been truly honest with them either. Alero, she knew. Now she's dead. But the others do not.
Then perhaps you should enlighten them before they meet the same end. We walk in this together. We walk a fine line. Anyone steps out, they will fall. Chaos will consume them. You must lead, Matthias.
He is right. Ermelinda walks in. Matthias, no one is immune to the taint of chaos. And Ermelinda at this point is making eye contact with Matthias. Touches everyone, corrupts everything. Your eyes have been clouded since you got here. It's time for the truth. Or else you will all fall and most likely destroy each other.
You are very wise. Despite my dislike for you, I think you speak the truth. I never told Alero that I I never told her how good a friend she was to me. Perhaps my only friend. I will correct this with the others. Can you bring them to me?
Of course. And Ermelinda goes to get Yidris and Nora. The wolves have stayed outside. So Ermelinda comes and gets Nora and Yidris. Matthias wishes to speak to you.
Nora nods and just immediately, she's been called, immediately gets up.
Mm-hmm. What's Yidris doing right now?
Yidris is going to acknowledge what she was just told and just take the time to put all the things back in her bag. So they're not just left out here on the floor, but do it kind of very, like, consciously, like, each item she holds for a second and, like, flips it and then puts it in. And then when that's done, she'll use her good arm to, like, push herself up, because she's still really injured in one of her arms, and it also feels like it's being amputated very slowly.
Nora will help, but not actually touch her, because she doesn't want her to look like she's helping her, because she imagines Yidris might get a bit funny about that.
About it.
This time, Nora notices Ermelinda is paying special scrutiny to Yidris. Is your arm injured?
It's not too bad. Just needs some rest and healing. I can tend to it later.
I will look at it. And she offers her hand to you if you need help getting up.
Yidris will stubbornly refuse the hand and stand up under her own force. But I think her face would probably soften at the offer of help and kind of give like a small, humble nod of yes, please. Yes, that your help would be appreciated. We have hard battles ahead. Will not do to be weak.
It will not. Please. And Ermelinda lends support to Yidris as the party reunites within the main fane of the temple itself, where the altar is. There's a stairwell leading down to the undercroft, where the local clergy and any notables were probably buried. But it's otherwise, a ruined, overgrown temple area.
The first time ever you see Matthias without his like armor and weapons on as well. You see clanks around. And he's taken off his hat as well. And you can see his hair. And he probably looks super weird because it's like if you've ever seen it, like, you know someone really well and they get a haircut and for like a day you're like, like, are you the same person?
Oh, dude, working at the hospitals. Yeah, never mind.
When I first went blonde, I'd walk past a mirror and I'd scare myself because I wasn't used to it. But
Working at the hospital,
white hair now, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I see people at the hospital I've worked with for 6 years without their scrubs on, and I'm like, who are you? So.
So he stands there in front of you all and says, "It is time that we were all honest with one another. Verlero, I bid you come and join me here. Cast off the weapons and armors that Sigmar protects us with, and let us be seen by him, not as warriors for once, but as friends."
Can I insight see if Matthias has actually lost his tiny little mind?
He's got mad.
Sure. Yeah.
And Nora is literally looking backwards and forwards. Like, is this real? Like,
It's time to share our feelings.
Give me an intelligence check.
He's like in yoga.
Sorry,
He's like sat in the Indian position. Like he's got a yoga
Yeah,
mat
just
rolled
like-
out.
Your hair's up in a bun, and you got a kale. Never mind.
He's got a man bun now. It's just
Was that an intelligence, sorry, or a fellowship?
yeah, intelligence.
Okay. I'm not good at these.
He's acting strangely. I mean, Yidris acts how Yidris is going to act, but you don't. He seems as strange as he is, sincere.
Nora's looking to Yidris almost for confirmation, as in like,
Idris has a suspicious look on her face for sure, but she will slowly reach for the belt that has the sword on it and remove that as like a gesture towards what Matthias wants.
Nora will follow suit with the most confused look on her face, just to see, thinking, is this something these humans do? Like,
All right.
he still looks suitably grave.
I mean, he's got like
He's not like,
muted
come on
skin.
in.
I'll say he's not
got bright
smiling.
white hair.
He's like,
As long as he's not smiling, I don't mind.
oh yeah, not at all.
What has brought about this change in you, Matthias?
I have spoken with Eamon and Ermelinda, and I've spoken with Sigma. Spoken with Valero. They've all told me the same thing. This shadow upon us, this mark, this curse, is one of our own making. We have lied to one another. We have deceived ourselves to protect one another, perhaps. To stop one another from being hurt, but yet it is these lies and it is these falsehoods that allow the taint of chaos to bed themselves in our souls. And none of us are the same as we were. When we started this journey together on that boat, we were together as one. Now we are fractured, scattered like Alero's ashes. This cannot be the way. So, we must speak our truths to one another and be open to Sigma and his judgment, rather than hide away in darkness.
You know as well as I do, you cannot hide from Sigma, even in darkness.
I have nothing to hide.
I have taken off my garments of the witch hunter, my weapons of justice, to show you that it is not I who will judge you, it is Sigma in this holy place. There will be no retribution for your honesty. So, is there anything you would like to say?
Yidris is gonna turn and look at Rat. And she'll slowly be removing the chainmail, like as a compromise, but she's gonna look at Rat. She wants to know what he's hiding.
Nora's just fixed on Matthias. She is still a little bit weirded out by what is happening right now.
This is very healy-feely.
Rat will kind of look down at the ground, and then he'll pointedly look up at Matthias and say,
hate you, Matthias. I hate every part of you. I hate everything you've done to me. I hate everything you've made me do. I hate you.
Matthias takes a long look at Rat and says, "Good. Then I have done my job well, for you should not love me. You should fear me."
I still fear Faith, you know. Those three eyes looking at me, not... She was looking at me for help, Matthias. She wanted help and... It wasn't my right to take it. It wasn't my right. Her blood is on my hands because of you. And I can never go back. I can never be the same person again. And I'll never forgive you. But I promise I'll always be at your side. I owe her that.
I do not seek forgiveness. And he kind of nods towards Rat in understanding.
Rat nods back. Like, it's amazing for him to come, but he knows what this is meant to do, and it feels like a massive weight. This is something he's wanted to say for a while, and it kind of just comes off his shoulders, and he kind of lets out a big sigh.
I look towards Idris.
Yidris, hearing Rat's testimony, confession, is gonna reach into her bag and pull out the one thing that she knows is in there, because it's constantly, the last day has been calling to her, and she's gonna bring out the book.
Okay.
And she'll hold it out just about to Matthias, and say, the words in this book, they speak complicated truths of chaos and how it could succeed, and how it is inevitable, and how it is right in so many ways. I see the answer in this book for how we will win, how we shall save this world from falling into this chaos, how we shall break the inevitability of it. And she'll start turning, and she gets caught in that cycle of I have to search through it to find that answer.
What?
And it's just pages of scroll.
Idris and Eamon, like, seeing the book and like what she's saying, will come up behind her, put a light hand on her shoulder, if she allows it. That is.
I think she's so
corruption
in the
of
third
chaos.
planet.
That is the lie of chaos. It reaches out to you, offering a way out. That way out is through this deeper. It is meant to draw you in. You cannot fight chaos with chaos. It only begets more chaos. I know my words are muddled behind the gibberish from this book, but please try to hold on to them. I will help you with this if you wish, but I cannot force you. And then he slowly kind of glides back out.
You don't understand the signs. There is order in this.
I look at the signs every night. They have led me to where I am now. It is all that I have studied. It is my purpose in life. I can help you if you wish it.
I don't know you or your signs. But I know the answer is here. And she's just still just like turning through this
Okay.
book.
Like, grab her hand as she's like rifling through the book, and meet her eyes and say, "What happened to you, Idris? You used to make sense. You used to be someone that I could trust, and yet I find myself being unable to trust this Idris before me now, one who can't even see her own reflection or remember something not in her immediate vision. This book, it is no good. It has not helped you. It will not help you."
How do I trust you, Matthias? How does the other witch wear your face? It was not a lie. It was your face I saw.
Very well. His name is Otto. He is my brother. He is my greatest failure, for I did not kill him as a child when I should have done.
You two carry chaos with you. Chaos and order.
I have seen chaos. My parents, my whole village. When I killed them for Sigmar, I knew that it could touch anyone, but my brother was the one who escaped. Like someone like banging on my ceiling, like so fucking loud right now. Can you shut the fuck up? It's
Let
like,
Sigmar into your heart, Will. Let
it's
Sigmar
like,
into
there's
your
like
heart.
a hammer over that side, and it comes closer towards me as I start speaking. Like,
I don't know what's
fucking-
true about that. We don't hear anything. This must be
Yeah.
our own conscience.
Not sure.
I hear it. I hear it.
And
Yes.
you just will settle
It's
on a
my
page
twin.
near the middle of the book, which has like a double spread, and in it, there is the name. I feel like the name like Otto could kind of be read there if you're really looking hard at the squiggles, and she's gonna be convinced that she's seeing Otto as part of the signs of the chaos, and she'll point it as, so look, the answers are here. The signs are in this book.
Do I see the word Otto when she points to it?
It looks like just gibberish. It looks completely unintelligible.
Idris, there is nothing written there. I am asking you as a friend, cast out this darkness. Cast out this false book. It is not holy. Instead, take the Sigmar's book. Read his verses. He has the answers. And I'm going to take the book from her, if she's going to let me.
Idris?
I imagine as quickly as she can, she'll draw the dagger that's kind of on her like ankle and go to like stab Matthias in the hand. Like the second that hand goes near the book, that's her book. That's her answers. Matthias is now wrong. Lost to chaos.
Now I kill her. Can I try and grab the this is like the Aragorn Eowyn moment where she like swings around and there's the sword in his face, which I'm gonna try and grab the dagger before she stabs me in the face.
Let's make opposed weapon skill checks.
I'm sorry, I don't want to stab you, Will.
Kellis is killing me in the chat right now. I gotta stop looking at you guys.
Yeah.
Sounds like Sid's trying to get out. The 60 and a wild magic surge to Yidris right when she needs it. Thank you, Bio.
Yeah, Yidris got 5 degrees of success to Matthias is
shit.
1. Yidris is the victor here. So Yidris, are you trying to?
Can I stab it like between his fingers? I just want to stop his hand. I don't want to like hurt Matthias. I just want to stop him from touching the book. So you know when you do that stabby thing like between the fingers really fast?
Mhm.
Yeah, from aliens.
But only like
Right.
yeah. But just like
So like my hands,
yeah, like that.
my
Just to
hand
stop
will,
his hand from getting close.
yeah, my hand
Okay.
will like stop dead on the book as she places the knife there. And it's like looking down at the hand and then the long look up to meet Yidris's eyes. Yidris. Do not make me hurt you.
Tell me how you can do that more than you have, Matthias.
How have I hurt you?
And she's gonna take the book and put it away and huggle her bag.
So Yidris has taken the book, put it back in her bag, and is sort of like backing out of the trust circle.
Yeah, I think like a little bit. She's kind of like fetal rocking a tiny bit, I think. Just,
Okay.
Matthias.
Matthias,
Matthias.
like everyone else can see that both Ermelinda and Red Wolf, having noticed this exchange, are, you know, they're like, yeah, she can't. That book is gotta go.
I was gonna say, Eamon has been like staring at Ermelinda and Red Wolf, like, are we
Yeah.
gonna have to? Are we gonna have to do something?
Right.
You know,
Matthias is starting to exchange the same looks. As he's confused by her saying that she's already hurt him, but he's grave at the idea that he will hurt her. And Yidris, your wild magic is that any attempt to change shape will leave your feet unchanged.
Well, I will bear this in mind when the wild magic surge inevitably comes around that turns me into a cake or something.
And then it's like two
Chicken
wild
with
magic for
human
whoever
feet.
ends up with the book. So
Yeah, there's 2 for whoever ends up with a book from Mr. Pokey, so keep that in mind.
Ooh.
I'm going
My
to...
book.
Yeah, he's like run out of ideas with her because like this is the trust circle and this is like the ultimate level for Matthias that he never goes to with anyone. And he's going to start chanting, and it's going to be a chant to cast out the demon, to cast out the witch and the heretic. And this may be like an incredibly painful experience for someone who actually has something inside of them that shouldn't be there. And no matter what it's going to cost him in terms of like sanity or physical damage and stress, because he's not actually a magic user as such. This is more so using the altar of Sigma here to try and pull off some bullshit, basically.
okay.
Can Rat look to Yidris?
It's time. If there's ever going to be a time where you can tell him, now is the time.
I have no more secrets left to tell, Rat. Don't you have secrets to tell? We're all so busy looking at my book, don't you forget? Don't you see? Atreus sits right there. Escapes all of the surges, worst of them. Casts demons into friends. And she's gonna full on throw Rat under the bus right now because she's panicking.
Yeah. He's panicking. So I am going to ask that Matthias both spend a fate point and gain an insanity in order to channel Sigmar's holy light in this place. But you will be able to
So-
channel Soulfire, which will harm the demons attacking your friend.
So I am that will put me to my 6th point of insanity, which means that I am about to
You'll have to make a willpower
Like-
test,
Join me
or
in the
otherwise go
club.
crazy.
go insane. But he's gonna do it.
Okay.
And he's going to begin, chanting this verse from Sigmar, and his like hair and skin turn like white color, like as if he's in battle, and he smolders a little bit as he does this, and he's going to try and cast out this book and this devilry from within inside her.
Okay. I'm going to need us to all go ahead and roll initiative, just so we have an order of action here. Yes.
I really hope this works. I'm tired of being cursed
Me too,
and insane.
it's gonna fuck me up, yo.
All right. Here we go. Rat with his usual. Johnny on the
Pretty
spot.
much the same order.
Yeah,
So, well,
right.
Nora as well, by the way. Thank you, Israel.
All right. Looks like Rat and then Eamon. Oh my goodness, it is going to be the same order as it's been. And then Matthias. I will go after Matthias. And Nora and Idris. All right. Matthias' skin starts to glow, and the golden sort of flames begin to flicker around Yidris and dance around her. And Yidris, something in you feels pain and reacts violently. We'll get to that when it's your turn. All of this kind of goes down at once. Matthias starts channeling this. You see Ermelinda and Red Wolf sort of poised for action. Rat, how do you respond?
Can I hold on? I want to use any opportunity that I can to grab the bag that I've seen the book go in. And just back in my days on the street where maybe I was a little bit more desperate for money, where I've had to grab a bag or something and run. I just want to get ready, seize my moment, and then run for the end zone.
Snatch and grab. You can make me an agility test to sort of grab it off her, but Yidris will be able to make an attack if she wishes as you run away from her.
Cool.
And that's two wild magic surges for Rats as he gets the book, being the winner.
You've got a hold of it. You've got a hold of the bag, but she's got kind of hooked on one of her arms, and you've got it.
I'm going to use a fortune point to re-roll that, because that is god-awful.
All right.
63. That'd be a success for me.
Okay.
I don't know whose side I'm on in this fight.
Radis grabs the bag and is about to run away, or is in the process of running away. Yidris, you can, if you wish, retaliate.
Imagine I still have that dagger in my hand that I literally just started Matthias with. So I want to throw it at Rag.
Okay.
So imagine he's running as fast as his tiny legs can carry him, right?
Yeah.
Is Jim controlling you?
So. 17.
Is it there?
Can I dodge?
But let's
I
get
guess I've got my
weapons on,
back to the attack, so I can't dodge
Yeah.
that. Right? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
you got
coming.
your-
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So, yeah,
That hits.
Radis hit. 5 damage to... What is that?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
that's
sticks
body
in my
shot.
armor.
That's a body
All
shot.
That's body shot. So kind of like you literally are stabbed
Right
in the back. As Rat runs away with the bag and its contents. Eamon.
Eamon, hearing what Matthias is chanting and seeing what he's attempting to do, begins preparing a spell as kind of sweat. He begins to sweat profusely for what he's about to attempt, because it's at the limits of his ability. But I'm going to do a channeling test with a half action and then begin casting Starshine to allow Sigmar's light to illuminate the area. Anything invisible will be visible, hidden things will be made seen, to see what, if anything, is affecting this poor soul. So
Having a caster in the group is so cool.
so I
Alright, we can do
I
it.
passed my channeling test, so that means I get
Yep.
to add my +3 to my next roll. My target
Yep.
number is 22, and I can only get a max of 27 on my roll. So
All right.
yeah,
Good luck.
yeah, I know. So we'll see, but I'll have to do that next round. As I begin
Alright,
muttering to myself, and I pull the dish out and capturing Starlight in it, and kind of hovering his hand over the dish itself.
Okay. Matthias, your turn.
Yeah, I close my eyes to the chaos swirling around me once again in my friend group, but I'm in zero way in control of any of these relationships. And I close my eyes and begin to feel Sigmar's light inside of me. Perhaps it's emboldened by the closeness to this to this church that I'm in right now. And I am going to kind of point a finger at Yidris, and it probably looks very much like a testify as he does so. Super kind of like...
Be gone, demon!
Exactly.
Starting to remind me of Sunday mornings.
As I turn into a space marine, I say, "My home planet needs me," and I fly up.
This is how we segue into 40k.
Right. I was going to do a bait and switch and have you all be in like a VR program, and then you take your helmets off, and that's your new characters.
It's like it's super.
This is a training program for Dark Heresy next season.
Yes.
Right. So Soulfire does 5 unresisted damage to undead and demons. They cannot resist it with their armor or their toughness. And as long as you kind of just keep channeling it, it will burn away at these things that hopefully Aemon's Starshine will reveal. But something is catching on fire around. What do we got?
That's a nat 1 for me from Pigeon.
Mm.
All right. I've got nat 20 as well, so even.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of force it towards her and try and expunge this power.
Nice. It's doing something.
He's probably shouting as well, like, "Tell us! Tell me!" Because he thinks she's hiding something from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something is screaming, something otherworldly, and like a distant echo, but you can hear it. And something near Idris is on fire. It is the 2 NPCs' turns. Red Wolf hunkers down, and you can see her form shift and bulk out until she has achieved bearhood. And she's kind of like stalking behind Yidris, not quite ready to pounce, like not quite pouncing on her right now, but it's like there's a giant grizzly bear 5 feet from where Yidris is, ready to do what she needs to do. Ermelinda looks like she is casting a spell herself, and I am going to see. I do not have it written down for her, so I'll just roll for business. Yeah. She begins weaving a spell herself, but it will take her a minute to go off as well. That makes it Nora's turn.
Can Nora sort of run towards Yidris and just like clamp her arms around Yidris's arms to completely hold her still?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and make opposed strength checks for that.
Oh dear.
I know usually grappling in Warhammer is agility, but I don't like. We're going with strength for this go around. So I need to
I think there's literally 1 point in our basic strength scores, right? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. We compared
pretty
it.
evenly
1
matched,
point.
yeah.
You have more.
Ooh, Nora has got Yidris bound up.
I'm busy hugging a book. I can't fight you as well.
I mean, if
All
I can
right.
knock the book out of her hand at the same time.
Well, I thought
it's in
is
my
the
bag.
book was in the
Well,
bag, and then
I was gonna
Rat
say-
has the bag.
Yeah, I've got a bag.
Yeah. So Nora's got Yidris kind of keeping her still there as you're not harmed by any of this fire that's going off around you. You can feel it as sort of a gentle warmth but it's raging all around Yidris. Yidris, it's your turn.
My bag. That's not a good sign. So let me get this right. There's a giant bear behind me. I have a Nora attached to me.
Correct.
Rat has run off with my bag.
Correct.
I've just thrown my knife, so my knife is gone.
Uh-huh.
I would like to
Relent!
break free of Nora's grasp because I want to get that book. Because I know what they're going to do to that book, and I want that book back.
All right, let's go ahead with let's go back with an opposed.
All right. Can I use one of my nat 20s, please?
Sure.
You-
I called it
go,
before
like,
Nora rolled to make sure it's fair.
Full Isildur on Rat and be like, cast it into the fire! Which, like, Yidris set outside, right? So Yidris is set as fires.
Right. Yes, that's true. There's another fire. There's a fire burning in the next room.
Oh shit! Damn it, Will.
Never go full Isildur.
Can I use one of my fortune points to gain a half action to start moving towards Rat?
Well, you
I
just
remember
it's
how it
all you have to
works.
all you have to do it like your strength is like a half. Your breaking out's like a half action. You can still move
Okay.
with a half action, and if you want, you can spend a fortune point to gain another half action.
So I could get a charge on him.
Correct.
I want my book back. I would like to do that,
Alright.
please.
Let's do it.
I just want to tackle
Um,
him. I don't have a weapon, so
Okay.
I guess I could punch him in the head, right?
You could punch him in the head. It depends. If you want to tackle him, it's strength. If you want to punch him, it's weapon skill.
I want to punch him. He's weak. I can get my bag back.
Alright.
If I fall down, it slows me down. Yeah. Sorry. You just want that book back.
Oh no! All right.
Fail.
That's oh yeah, that's a fail. Oh, just barely. So Yidris's
Great.
fist whips by Rat's face. Oh, we just got a connection lost from you, Matthias. Yeah, just barely. And that brings it back around to Rat. Yidris is right on top of you. Almost smacked you.
What are you doing? We're trying to help you.
So if I'm bolting through, how far am I away from this fire?
You're like a move to get into the next room. And yeah, if all you do is like focus on getting away from Yidris and moving towards the fire, that would eat up
all-
both of your half
All her
actions.
stuff's in here. I'm gonna feel really bad because she lost all her stuff
He's already
anyway.
lost.
I'm about to just
That can be replaced. Her
Yeah,
sanity
like-
can't.
Rat just like he doesn't know what this book's about. He couldn't read it. It looks like a normal book to me. So I don't know what
But
the
yeah, it
big deal
doesn't
is.
look
But
like anything different. It doesn't. It's not like a leering demon face or covered in human skin or something. It's just a book.
he's gonna just like dunk it in this fire, and then he's gonna. Do you mind if I then turn round and just kind of try and block the way between? Like I won't do any attacks or anything like that, but I just want to be there to try and block her from getting there.
All right.
Yeah, this halfling standing in front of you. Shall not.
That's a warrior woman.
Just playing goalies. That's all.
Rat. Rat.
You have a staff, don't you?
Yeah, you can
Sling
sling
stuff, yeah.
Rat darts away from Yidris, dumps Yidris's bag into the fire that she had built earlier, and yeah, then tries to block her from pulling it back out, I guess. Eamon?
So Eamon has been continuously muttering since, for the last like 10, 15 seconds. And it kind of reaches a crescendo and he takes that dish and slings the water up in the air and then wraps his staff down on the ground. And at that, we will see if Sigmar answers. Quick question. Can I use a nat 20 on a caster roll?
Ooh. To automatically cast a spell, you mean?
Yeah.
I'll say this, yeah, I'll let you use it to get the spell off, but you still have to roll for Zinch's Curse, and you got to roll all your dice.
Okay. I'm going to use a nat 20 to make sure this spell goes through.
Okay.
But I will go ahead and roll because I guess I would have to roll 3, and I would have passed anyway. Fuck! Like literally the best outcome. 10, 9,
That's like
8.
the best roll. Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, so yes, Eamon wraps the staff down, and like the dust from the walls and the rafters and the water mixes, and like this light just kind of descends on everything, and anything that is hidden or dark or whatever, the light just clings to, and is bathed in soft silvery starlight.
You can see around Yidris that outlined in the soft silvery light. It's sort of like looking at like a 3-dimensional shadow almost. Are these 5 creatures that seem to be darting about her, mostly like grasping with their heads inside her chest and her brain and like her limbs. They seem to be trying to like move her about and force her to do things. And you can sort of see them. They appear to have, they're not humanoid. They have appendages that resemble arms, but instead of digits or a tentacle or a paw, they kind of fan out into these weird blunt-like objects that they're using against her. It's difficult to get a good view of them, but you can see 5 of them, and they are on fire from the soul fire that Matthias is wielding.
Sigmar has illuminated your enemy. We must take them.
It also illuminates any hidden things, or just like invisible enemies and stuff.
Starshine banishes darkness, both magical and mundane. Invisible is made visible. Hidden or disguised characters are exposed, and secret areas such as doors, chambers are revealed. It lasts for a number of minutes equal to my magic characteristic. So for the next 3 minutes,
you should have been here last week for Califar fight, right? Like all those illusions.
Right? No, that's all I could think of the whole time was like, well, could have used one of them.
Eamon's star shine illuminates the collapsed area of the temple that you're in, and much of the surrounding rooms and the like are bathed in the starlight. You can see these demon things attached to Yidris, and you can also see like something in a pile of rubble is also draws your attention as well. That was your full action, Eamon, so that makes it
full action. And by the way, it's everything within 48 yards of me.
Jeez. Okay. So it's probably the entire temple, basically. Yeah.
I love
So does Yidris look like she's at all better? Now that we've revealed the demons?
I think you could just see them and better. At this point, you just see them. You have no way, unless you have some kind of. I really don't think anyone here, maybe except for Eamon, is possible of harming them at this point, as they are still in the ether, still in the realm of chaos, exerting their influence on this world.
Okay,
but you can see them, and you are hurting them.
All right. Is this something I can keep maintaining? Am I?
Yes. You can use a half action to maintain, and you have another half action to do whatever you like.
So yeah, first half action definitely to maintain. Probably moving towards them to continue to like cast them out from this hall. So my other half would be to move closer towards them in order to sort of like make them back away from this aura that I have around me. And I can say, "See, Idris, see, this is what your book has."
Yeah,
and
you're surrounded by demons.
But I'm still fully insane and cursed and broken currently.
Correct. Yeah. It is my caster's turn. The bear, Red Wolf, maintains her distance but moves closer to where Rat is, so that there is both Rat and a grizzly bear blocking the way towards where the fire burns. And Melinda's spell goes off, and there is a what is it? Erlinda's spell goes off, and there's a glow of sort of green, life-affirming energy that begins to kind of suffuse the area where Yidris is, and the demons that surround her start to become substantial and start to take on an odd form, but a form nonetheless. That makes it Nora's turn.
So I've obviously Yidris got away from me. So is Yidris still by the door near Rat?
Not quite. I kind of see it as like Rat had gone one way, Yidris followed, and then he like fakes her out and heads the opposite way towards the fire. So Yidris would have to move to get to where the fire is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna just try and tackle her again. She's just a enemy to herself at the moment. Is that another strength?
Yeah.
Checking.
Opposed strength.
12.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just thinking if street fighting gave me any benefits, but
I
Stop
think
looking at some
wrestler
advantages.
right.
1 degree
supposed to
versus
win.
3 degrees of success. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. Nora's got Yidris wrapped up again.
I literally just want to tackle her, and if I just can sit on her and make sure she can't move, that's what Nora's doing.
Yeah. Then we're back here towards your Nora's sort of on top of Yidris. And that's what's so you've done that, you're tackled her, you're Nora and Yidris on the ground. Yidris, what are you doing?
I'm gonna fight the one that is keeping me from my book, which right now is Nora, and I just want to punch her 3 times upside the head.
Okay.
Thank God I got rid of everyone's weapons at the beginning of this, right? Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Last time
I'm still in armor.
everyone killed each other.
I dropped my axe, but I'm still in armor.
Right.
Yeah. Matthias, I may be the diviner, but that was some foresight. Yeah.
Right. All right. 1 hit. Body shot.
I'm just
As soon
gonna
as we
roll.
talk about our feelings, we're going to start attacking each other.
What is
Wait,
the
I'm sure
circle
you're
of dice
Trust.
roll?
I don't trust this circle of trust.
What's that, Yidris? What's that?
What do I roll for the? I don't have an unarmed on my list.
It's strength bonus -4 is the damage on for unarmed.
All right, so I'll roll the throwing knife and just deduct an extra 1.
That's fine.
D10 minus 3. So
5.
that's a 5 and a 1 for the 2 attack.
Yeah, I mean, she's wearing armor. You're even if Yidris is armored as well. You know, I don't know what kind of weapons.
that'd be
Remember what kind of
left
armor you have on
arm.
your hands.
On my hands?
Yeah, like you're
I
wearing
took off my
gauntlets or
nails,
anything
it's
like
just leather. It's just leather.
Just leather.
Gauntlets.
that. Yeah,
Gauntlets.
Yidris is in like half plate and
Gauntlets, I
chain,
guess.
right? Or sorry, Nora. Nora wears like
Yeah.
plate and chain.
Yeah. I've
I
got
don't think
6
any
on
of these-
my head as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
just
one in
take
one
it like a
arm and one in the other arm.
All right.
Just
So I'm not holding her, you're just swinging wildly.
Swinging wildly. Okay.
yeah.
Rat.
Yeah.
Round 3.
So, at the moment, she can't get anywhere near it. Is there anything I can do to, like, start kicking this? I want this to burn quicker. Can I stamp on it? Can I...
Well, right now it's just a big pile of paper, right? So it's like going to take a while to get through all that paper. You could start ripping out pages.
Yeah,
tear it up.
yeah. If I can tear this, and I'm going to start ripping page by page and start throwing them one by one into the fire.
You have any alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
no, don't ban my book. What are you doing? Monster.
Yes. So just page by page by page. I imagine I'm fully concentrating in this, kind of facing towards the fire. So I'm kind of
Okay.
a bit at risk. I'll say I'm doing that for my turn.
Okay. Rat hastens the destruction of the book. Eamon, round 3.
Seeing these demons for what they are, he reaches out again with a clutched fist and his staff, and I'm going to channel and focus my energies first, which I do like a mofo. And then I'm going to let loose a bolt of lightning at one of these demons.
All right.
And
So you can see part of what Ermelinda did was force these demons into plants. Looks like she called some up from the floor, and they've inhabited sort of plant-like bodies, and so that's what you're targeting right now.
okay.
Go for it.
And yeah, I'm gonna do just 2. 7 plus 3 is 10, which is the exact number that I need to cast my spell. So
All right.
it goes off. Oh, sorry. Accidentally clicked the wrong button there. Sorry, my bad. Damage is 10 damage to one of these demons.
Yeah, Eamon targets one of them and just incinerates its body to ash, and 4 of them remain. Matthias.
I hear a knocking in my skull from the power of Sigma, tapping lightly on my head.
Hello.
And I'm half action. I'm going to keep the spell up, so there's like 5 damage to them each round, right? And I'm going to step closer towards him, so I'm just going to keep chanting and screaming and yelling, probably at the top of my lungs, like a preacher. More like a warrior priest in this moment, because he's not actually armored in any way and he's not wearing any of his weapons. So he just walks towards where Yidris is until the demons as well, and cast out the demons for Sigma.
As you walk closer, like these plant bodies that Ermelinda has forced them into begin to incinerate and fall to pieces underneath your soul fire and Eamon's lightning bolt. You march closer towards them, and they just crumble to dust. And as their hold over Yidris weakens, it releases a burst of magic. And all of those wild magic surges you guys have been rolling up here, let's just go ahead and resolve them all right now.
Rats loses access to all but one school of magic for the next 2 to 6 days. He is a caster.
It's secret casting.
Confirm.
And half of Rat's body is affected by reverse gravity. Just one half.
Just lost.
Hopefully it's the top half.
Hope so. And then Nora, her death will awaken a nightmarish, slumbering deity when Nora dies.
That's
Nora can't die.
Shit.
No wonder Nora's brooding all the time.
Yeah, Nora can't die. All right. Okay. Were those 3? I thought there was maybe.
That's
2 more
what
on this.
we're doing.
All right. All right. Have Rat roll me a D4.
You want me to take an attack? Yeah. Oh god.
So here's what it's gonna be. If it's a 1, it's your top half. If it's 2, it's the bottom. And if it's a 3, it's your left. If it's a 4, it's your right.
Oh, left.
Your left half is affected by reverse gravity. You can, because you're like right there by the fire pit and whatnot, grab onto something.
Wait, am I like full on levitating from my left side, or is it?
Well, it's like I'm trying to. Like, I'm thinking about this was like, how are you not ripped in half?
Yeah.
Well, you would like stand on one leg as one half of your body would try to be falling upwards as the other half. I mean, they weigh the same, right?
Yeah, you'd
They
be
weigh
in
the same.
equilibrium because
It's probably more like agility to maintain your balance.
I
more than anything.
eagerly start stuffing my possessions in my right hand pocket.
Yeah.
So when these demons are like exploded and turned to dust, Matthias probably gonna have to fall to his knees after doing something that is not something he can actually do like safely. But I'm gonna look to Yidris and see if she's still batshit crazy.
Is Nora still on top of her?
Yeah, I think Nora's still on top of her.
Nora's favorite position.
I'm actually kind of thinking, Yidris, make me a toughness roll.
As Yidris is now Alero.
Yeah, and I get the sword.
Is that a deja vu?
So you maintain consciousness, but you have something that was absent is now present in you, and you have a greater sense of your own reality and its stability. But you have a full and clear memory of everything that's happened, and the book still has its hold on you. You will need to make 7 challenging willpower rolls, 1 a day, to be fully free of the book's influence.
This rehab is gonna suck. Yidris
Gotta go to
is
rehab.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yidris is. I think she's pretty distraught because that book is being destroyed. Right, she can hear those pages
Mm-hmm.
and the burning, smell the smoke, and she knows that Alaria was destroyed. And meta question: I'm still insane, right? I still have that insanity that I had.
You still have the insanity. You still have the delusion that you got from the insanity, as well as any insanity points that you have.
Okay.
You are, because it's kind of like a backstage thing. You have the effects of the loss of object permanency are lessened. Your other wild magic surges are still present. It's up to you how long that amputated feeling lasts. I don't think it's necessarily permanent.
I think, like, in the grand scheme of things, I've probably forgotten about that right now.
Yeah, there's a lot else going on.
That's ironic.
But you're like, yeah. But like I said, the book still has its hold on you and will until you make 7 of those challenging willpower rolls. Yeah, that's where Yidris is right now, with Nora on top of her and all the like.
Oh, yeah.
Is it my turn in the initiative? It's not, right? I just went.
We're kind of still mostly out of initiative. It would be Matthias just went. It's technically Nora's turn. If Nora wants to get back or do something, yeah, that's technically whose turn it is. Where initiative is Nora's the use.
Yidris isn't like. So the demon's almost sort of. Everything's subdued. Everything's calmed down. Like I don't have to. Or knock her out or anything.
I mean, is Yidris still fighting back?
Yeah, she still needs to get to what's left of her.
Yeah, then I'm gonna punch her. She punched me in the head. I'm gonna punch her in the head. So.
Okay. All right.
What am I rolling for that? Sorry, that was
weapon skill.
Weapon skill.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I got a 6.
Yeah.
I am.
You do that as many times as you have attacks.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
That's
what's that?
That's a 8.
Right.
What do I have to get to knock her out?
Hang on a second, because I'm not wearing
What's
my
up?
helmet. I think you already knocked me out.
So 32 is 23. It's not a. Oh wait, no, 6 is okay.
I have 1 remaining.
Make me a toughest test
Hit
because
me
Nora
right
has
on the
strike to stun, right? You have the talent strike to stun.
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, I have.
Standard
Strike to
success.
injure.
Oh, strike to injure, strike. You're
I've got
good at
strike
killing
to injure.
people, not necessarily knocking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing damage to her and can keep hitting her, but she's not quite knocked out. So that's going to be 8 damage to Yidris.
Yep.
And you can make
I'm
that
not gonna
attack
have
as many
one
times as you
wound
have attacks. Okay.
I will hold off because I'm guessing I saw that was a big blow and I don't actually want to kill her. So yeah, and then I'm just gonna slap her around the face, almost like to be like snap out of it. Like Nora doesn't know what she's doing anymore. She doesn't understand something she can't physically attack, so she just
As
slaps her
the
on the
slap
face.
comes, can I do a dodge blow? Since if she's using her hand, she can't be holding 2 hands. Just as a kind of RP dodge blow.
Yeah.
Should have headbutted you.
Should have done.
Yeah.
Let's see how effective it was. Oh, that went a bit wild. Oh no. Nah, she would have failed anyway. She was loud.
So it would have failed.
Goes to move.
All right, it's Yidris' turn.
I want to punch bitch back.
This is just turning.
I turned the combat music off. I thought we were friends again, damn it.
Yidris is all in.
Jesus, you're fucking wailing on each other. Like
Yeah.
6 flying around.
That won't.
Right, so
Yeah.
that doesn't hit at all, because that's another -1 on there anyway.
Yeah,
That was such a good hit as well.
that was a good hit.
That was also a good
Wow.
hit.
Another good hit. The headshot.
So
hit.
that's a 3, which won't do
Uh-huh.
anything. Because one of us took off our armor. That's also success.
I'm so glad I didn't take my armor off. I've just been wailed on.
Bam, bam, bam. All right, so
So that's 4, which will do nothing against Nora's armor.
Nora remains punch-proof.
Blocking my
as-
hands,
I'm
punching you.
just
It's
saying,
fine.
it's like,
Rat, you're someone has come to help you. You're sort of like what, half dancing, trying not to fall.
I think what I'm gonna. So I imagine like Rat was using his left hand to pull these pages out, and somehow it's fighting back. So you know that feeling where like you get cramp, and or, like your muscles and all your muscles tighten and straighten out. Basically, Rat's entire left-hand side of the body just straightens completely out, like something's attacking every muscle in that side of the body, and he just falls back on the floor, like almost prone, not knowing what to do.
Okay. Nice.
Maybe still holding on to one page, unable to grip and like let go of it. So it's kind of tightened in my hand, but I can't do anything to let go of it.
Okay. Eamon.
Mute you, bro.
Oh yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, seeing these party members continuing to fight amongst themselves, and knowing that we're trying to help Yidris, he's going to take the chance. Now that Yidris is distracted, and he's going to try to curse Yidris to try to help Nora overcome her.
Okay.
So,
By fire with fire.
Failing-
Can we just undo a curse?
Just a casual curse.
Just a casual curse. It only lasts for like 24 hours. You'll be fine.
Just half a fuck, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So yes, I did get that through. And so I get my +3. I do not set off a curse, and I do cast the spell. All right, because it's a total of 16, which is the exact number I need to hit, which is awesome.
All right.
So that means that one opponent, which is Yidris, so you don't get a save for this, but you are at -10% on all your tests, and attacks against you get +1 damage for the next 24 hours.
Right.
But yeah, he sees this situation for what it is, and just kind of cuts her off from Sigmar's wisdom for just a little bit.
Yeah. Matthias.
Will's laughing. The first isn't fun, it's funny. I step over to where I have put my sword, the sword that's killed Alero, and I walk with it over to Yidris, where Nora's got her sort of pinned down, and I slowly draw the saber out and point it down to her heart. And this is an attempt to make her stop fighting, because in his eyes there is the look of, I am about to kill you.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't
Alright.
say anything, because I think they understand each other well enough.
And you've got the frightened thing, right?
Yeah, and I use my intimidate thing to help boost my personality. like fucking terrifying.
Charming
Yeah, my charm. It's really suave.
it's older.
I have a personality.
All right, so in that case, I need Yidris to make me a willpower test to avoid being overcome with fear.
Right, I'm just
And
minus
then-
10 to myself because I'm cursed.
Correct. Yeah.
That's an
Oh, I
epic
thought it was
fail.
28. Thank God.
Oof. All right.
Glad I
So
cursed
for
you.
for this round, you cannot move, fight, dodge, or take any other actions. You're paralyzed in fear. Matthias, in all of his terrifying sort of presence, has got a sword placed over your heart, and that's where Yidris is at. And of course, Wild Magic Surge.
Thanks, Walter. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna just super intense look. The sword is on her heart. If she moves, it cuts her. So yeah, that's why I'm hold it.
Matthias, how can I save you without the answers?
The answers are not in that book, Yidris. The answers are here. And I can like push the pommel of the sword in so that it'll like cut the chest, like leaving a scar if it gets the chance to, and just sort of just hold it there. This is where the answers are.
All right.
Down through my leather jack, making a nice little hole.
Yeah,
Can Nora react to this at all, or are we still in the initiative order?
It's your turn.
Okay. Nora's gonna try take the sort of move it, looking at Matthias, not saying anything to her, but just move it away from Yidris.
I'm gonna resist the this movement.
All right, that's the post strength then.
Yikes. Yeah.
Matthias is strong, isn't he?
Does that? Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, he's relatively, but not really.
Yeah.
No, she literally grips the blade with her hand and just pushes it out the way. Even if it cuts her hand or anything, she's just pushing it out of the way and keeping eye contact with Matthias and just shaking her head.
Now, you got your gauntlets on. It's fine. All right, that's what Nora does. Idris.
I can do nothing on this turn other than just pleading with Matthias over and
plead.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need the answers so that I can save him. And that's just all that she can get out. That's why she's so overcome with that insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And the need to get to the book.
All right. Well.
But also the fear because Matthias is about to stab her in the heart if she moves.
Could that book burn? Yeah, can we burn this?
The last, there's the last pages that Rat has, and Red Wolf sort of like returns to her human form, and helps Rat sort of like maintain his balance. Tears those last pages out.
I'll shove my whole fist in the fire. If it's the last one left and I can't let go of it, I'll put my fist in the fire.
Okay.
Until I can feel like it crumble from my hand.
Yeah. Rat's going to take 2 damage from the fire, but he feels it burn and crumple. And as the last bits of it disintegrate into ash in the fire, Yidris, the compulsion to read it subsides. It's not gone, but you know that there's no way you could read it now. And now instead of like a compulsion to read something that exists, it's more of a longing for something that you can never have. Until you pass 7 willpower checks. Yeah. For now, we'll drop out of combat.
Yeah, I'll whip up the swords and return it to its sheath when I see the fire dying in her eyes.
Yeah. What about Yidris?
Yidris is just a mess of tears and blood where Nora's heavy gauntleted hand had literally smashed in half of her face. And she's just exhausted. I think the head and the body just completely untense and she gives up the fight. There's no point in fighting anymore.
Gotcha.
I
right.
say, relent. Tell us. I'm stuck on this telling the truth thing. We're still in the truth circle as far as my fire system.
Still in the truth circle.
Yeah.
That's a good start
Probably
with
safe
that.
space. You can say anything you want. There's no repercussions. Remember when I said that? And then I held a sword to your heart 20 seconds later.
Yidris drew steel first.
That's true. Yeah, she did fucking dagger a rat in the back. So this is what happens. Like, I'm like, come on, guys, let's do this. And then, like, Alero shoots Rat, or someone tries to kill Rat, my, like, surrogate son, who hates me, but I don't care. And I end up murdering them.
So he's just your son then.
It's becoming a pattern. Yeah. I said, yeah, so I whip the sword up, and I'm just going to be like, tell us the truth, Yidris. What have you been hiding from us?
Long before I ever met you, Matthias, I saw in a dream how you would die and what would happen if that came to pass. Then, by chance, you hired me, and I swore an oath to Sigmar that I would prevent your fall, prevent chaos from overtaking the world. It's my destiny that I stop you from dying at the hand of a demon with a great sword. My destiny that I save us from this chaos by saving you. You were right, though. There are no answers in that book. I'm not sure where they are.
If this is true, if I am to be slain by a demon, then I will do so with Sigmar's light in my heart, and no darkness in your eyes, of any of you. I may die. I do not fear it. But we must not let Alero's death ruin us. Sigmar has a way, a reason for this. Perhaps you will save me again, Idris. Or perhaps you do not know how much you have already saved me. All of you. I offer a hand to pull her up.
I step out of the way between them. Like,
she will take the hand since one of her arms is wrecked and her face is wrecked, and she's barely functioning. She's on one wound, so she is pretty fucked up right now.
It's good to have you back, Idris.
What's the rest of the party doing?
Your...
Oh, sorry, Idris.
No, it's fine. You got it. Let's find out what there's about.
Yeah. Once it seems like everything was kind of died down, Eamon is going to move over, kind of gliding a little bit over towards whatever that rubbish pile was that his spell illuminated. He would have noticed that.
Mm-hmm. It looks like there's some kind of sarcophagus or stone box or something underneath some rubble.
Look here. Something is revealed in the light of Sigmar. Let's try to draw others' attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Look around.
Yeah, it looks like there's some kind of stone container, coffin-ish sized underneath one of the rubble piles. It's sort of towards the front of the temple.
Is Rat okay?
How long? Yeah, you're only reverse gravity for a couple minutes, right?
You
Rat.
tell me.
Oh,
I imagine
forgot
I
what it
can't. I don't know if it had a length, but I'm guessing maybe
Gotcha.
one of the magical spellcasters might be able to help me a little bit because they were in there with me.
Yeah, Red Wolf was in there assisting you. It didn't last that long, and as the book turns to ash, you get control of your body back, and seemingly, other than the burn on your hand, are none the worse for wear.
Yeah, I kind of walk back in the room, clutching my it's a bad burn when your hand looks wet. There's a few blisters forming already, so I'm just clutching it towards me.
Is it done? Is he okay?
She's better now.
And like, he kind of, there's a half smile on his face because he expected to walk in this room and she'd be dead. So it's kind of a relief at the same time.
Come,
It's okay. No, we don't need to speak about this.
Thank you, Rat. I'm sorry for the accusation.
That's okay. It's taken its toll on all of us, and we're still together. We're still in this shit. So, what's a few words here and there?
And he kind of glances his eyes to Matthias, kind of regretting how open he was earlier. Especially, like, as he's the only fucking person that confessed before it all turned to shit. So this is just hanging open.
Yeah, so, like, Matthias gives Rat a bit of a strange look, which he hasn't given him before. And he looks a little abashed, though you probably don't know what the expression is because he's never looked abashed before. Maybe guilt or shame.
He says sorry, we're gonna kill him.
Rat will kind of walk over to where Matthias's hat is on his, I'm sure, his meticulously laid out clothes, and he'll just hand him back his hat.
I think you should put this on.
And he'll walk back over to Eamon, not wanting to get involved in this conversation.
The most Indiana Jones moment. Yeah, as you put that hat back on me, and my little theme song plays for a second. Actually, this is a problem though, because your confession has reminded me that Idris hasn't actually confessed. So, there's a little moment of shame when you put the hat back on me. Is that
just tell him about knocking him out?
His iris is like
Is that everything, Idris? Everything in its entirety.
What do you remember of the battle at Oberheim?
I was fighting by your side. There was a great beast. Then hordes of them, and then something hit me from behind. Stone or something. I don't recall, it's all darkness.
Someone hit you from behind. The numbers were too great, Matthias. So I struck you. And I carried you away from the fight so that we could live, so that we could fight another battle. The one we were meant to fight here.
I look at the others. Did you know of this?
Nora just nods.
I look at Rat.
That Melinda told me. I didn't see it with my own eye.
Then I forgive you. I think you're muted, Charlie.
That is all I have. All I have ever hidden from you, Matthias. Every unspoken truth.
Thank you.
That's all.
Then now that we have all been honest with one another, then this curse can be lifted from us and we can forge our path together as holy
Wait,
warriors of Sigma.
Matthias,
Yes.
one of us hasn't made confession. And she's gonna look to Eamon. Every man has his secrets. It used to be my job to find them. We should hear your secrets. Those that you would share with us if you are to fight with us.
Well, I have cursed you for the next 24 hours. So, there is that. Please try to avoid combat. You are out of control. But in the interests of fostering peace and trust between us, I would not hesitate to do again should you succumb to the clutches of chaos once more. No single one of us is above this fight. And I would gladly take any one of you down should you turn on us again. That is my secret. I will do anything to stave off the tide that is threatening to wipe out this land.
I trust you believe the same of all of us here.
I would hope so.
And there's like the tiniest hint of threat.
I would hope so.
I nod, seemingly pleased by this answer. And I say, I made you all a promise before that if we fell to chaos that I would kill you. Now I make you another promise. If one of us falls to chaos, all hope for our party is lost. We'll all die. Idris's dreams may come to pass. We will not be able to save this place, so we must look after each other. We must watch one another's backs. Or if one of us falls, we all do. And I make the sign of the hammer, or is it the sign of the hammer? Which is like a...
Or the twin comet thing.
Something like this, I was saying.
Something like that, yeah.
Hammer time! It's probably, I don't know, maybe like a... on a heart or a... something or other. And that is my sort of... making the sign of the hammer as the symbol of his like promise, the hand in the middle of the group of Warhammer.
Yeah. Nice. So all this confession comes out and the secrets are revealed. Give me an idea of like how you guys are gonna camp out for the evening. You know what preparations you guys take for that.
Idris would like to ask Rat to bring her bag, so that she can tend
It's
the
on
wounds
fire.
of the party.
It's
Whole
on
bag?
fire. I put the whole bag in there, then ripped the book out and started burning that as well. Your bag is toast. Rat will come to you and give you like his bag. One, it's tiny, and it is caked in like 100 different types of filth.
Tell me, Rat, why did you not burn yours when you burnt mine? And she's gonna give it back, and she's gonna turn to Nora. Nora, do you have any of the supplies that we collected for the dwarves? Any medical bandages, gauze?
She nods and reaches into her bag and just starts handing them over. She looks a little bit like she can't really look at Yidris, and then she sort of takes out some material, or like, not a handkerchief, but something like that, and sort of says, I'm sorry about that. Just sort of gestures to Yidris's face, which I'm assuming is still pretty bloodied, and she's just like, just sort of offers, like, as if it's gonna do like any good, but just like, I'm sorry about that.
It was a good punch, Nora. Next time I will do better to return the favor. And she's kind of saying this in like a good humored way, not a genuine threat way.
Yeah. Nora sort of smiles and sort of shrugs at that and feels a lot better now after continuously punching her friend in the head, and moves on.
Okay.
So Yidris will spend like the next, I don't know, like half an hour just bandaging up her face and sorting that out, and then she'll look to the others and check their wounds, because we've been through a lot of battle, and everyone I think has some sort of scrape or graze or something, and she'll just make sure they're all checked out before you lie around in a dirty, burnt out temple.
Yeah. Okay.
No offense, Sigma. No offense.
Got to clean this place up. One thing I'd like to do, Jim, is I do have 6 insanity points now from having.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I think 2 things have happened to Matthias here. Number 1, you felt a bit of real power coming,
right.
Sigmar's power coming through you in this moment of desperation of trying to save your friend. And it's also been a fucking long time since you set something on fire. So Matthias gets the firebug disorder.
Oh, I love that one.
Anytime you are presented with an opportunity to start a fire, you have to make a willpower test not to. And when you observe a fire, you feel a sense of elation and euphoria that lasts for D10 hours. But for D10 hours afterwards, you suffer a penalty to fellowship as you enter a depression. You can start another fire to alleviate that penalty to fellowship.
All right. So Matthias, takes a little like torch with him as he goes, and I don't know if like setting up tents out here, but if we are, he probably goes into his tent and like watches the lantern there for a while as he thinks on everything that's happened and processes all of the many betrayals that have been placed upon him.
Yes, the many betrayals. So Matthias has the firebug disorder now. Anybody else? No, anybody else dealing with close to 6 insanity? I don't think so.
No.
I'm on 5.
5 for Rat. All
Very
right.
close. Yeah.
But Eamon does want to check this box out.
Yes. All right. So Eamon has been sort of uncovering some of the debris that covers the box, and indeed, as you remove some of the debris, it has a stone relief carving on it of a warrior of some kind, maybe. Looks like that. There's ancient writing on it. It looks like perhaps a local saint or holy figure.
What's in the box, Simon?
I do not know. I believe that Sigma would like us to look within. Perhaps a boon for the coming battle.
Like, Rat won't need any more than that. He'll just jam a dagger in and try and prise this thing open.
Okay. Yeah, it's a heavy stone lid, but if you work as the 2 of you working together can get it open.
Eamon with his, I think, like 20-something strength will attempt all he can.
Right.
I
mean,
imagine we both try it for like a good minute, and then we're like,
I have a 30 strength. It's decent.
all right, should we do strength rolls? Let's see if we can do this. Come on then.
yeah, let's see. Let's see.
Let's embarrass ourselves.
All right.
Trying to get like a jar open in front of people when you've got guests.
Right.
It's most embarrassing.
Yep.
Babe, I get that.
And you wouldn't even have gotten there with the +10 from helping. Sorry. Eamon and Rat are having some trouble getting open this stone sarcophagus lid. They've budged it, but it's hit a snag.
No,
I was gonna say, can I see this? Can I just sort of wander over?
You walk over, Rat's holding his back.
We did not
Yeah.
want to trouble you, Nora.
She just sort of sighs, rolls her eyes a little bit, and fails. Hang on. Can I roll again?
Yeah, you guys, the three of you will
Yeah.
Idris, and then Idris comes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Judge not, lest you be judged, Nora.
Nora traps herself inside with a 90.
It's that coffin that you've been.
Just hit me. Yeah, I'm haunted by it.
Uh-huh.
I'm weak after punching Idris in the face so many times.
Oh my god.
The three of you manage with some good grief, guys.
It took 3 of you.
I want to see who gets
No,
it now.
you can't even do it. Hang on.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Can I come over and just stomp on the box, please?
I think I'm in the box.
I think I'm in the box. I think I am the box.
I could be the box.
Oh my god!
I want to see if this keeps going this badly. Like,
There's a lot
There
of
it is.
failures.
There it is.
All right, okay, all right,
First
Rat.
time. Of course he does.
Rat finally got it after much.
I'm really sure that Sigmar wants us to get in here. Trust me.
I'm-
Yeah. You guys are struggled for a while to get this open. Ashamed even, but Rat wedging himself between a wall and the lid.
10 rolls, guys. 10 rolls.
10 roll. Takes a while.
Shame. Shame.
Right. There is a desiccated body inside, rusted armor and a dented and faded shield sort of cover it, but it sort of looks like a warrior priest or something. Tucked by its side, however, a perfectly preserved flail.
The flash just jumps out the box. Hey!
Wait, it's not
Find
that
the
what our
break
medic
on
said, right?
Flail.
I think I know who might want that. And I'll be honest, I kind of burnt all their stuff.
Sigmar provides us.
You go and give it. I don't think she likes you, so if you give it to her, Eamon, she might like you.
And Eamon will use all of his strength to heft the flail. And then walk over to Yidris and be like,
Yeah.
I know that it is will do little to erase the frustrations you have had with me in our short time, but I believe that Sigmar wanted you to have this and revealed it to me to give to you. And he will present her with this shiny flail.
I will look at it with my one good eye. Thank you.
Flails are
Eamon.
often used by fanatics and zealots and the like, so one of them being with the Sigmar Holy Warriors. Probably considerable weapon.
I hope that I am still strong enough to wield it. Perhaps in a day or so.
Yes. Sigmar will guide your hand. As he has before. He kind of looks over at Matthias and then gives you a little wink, turns around and walks away.
Did you just do the wink and walk away, me?
Wait, did he wink at me?
No. I just said the line, looked at Matthias, and then looked back at Idris, gave her a wink.
So you licked your lips at Matthias. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I licked my lips at
It's
Rat.
kind of into Matthias.
Right. We kind of had a whole moment with the whole lid of the sarcophagus. So.
It's kind of
It's been an eventful evening because you guys are working off a big fight at Bearwald Keep, and then there was a walk through the woods for a while, and now an exorcism here at the end of the day. It's well past midnight by the time things die down, and you all take to your corners of the temple to seek sleep and solitude. So at some point, Matthias goes to, a little tent that he's set up and sort of stares into this flame. How about everybody else? Where do y'all end up for the night?
Can I take some time to speak to the spellcasters, Sir Eamon and Ermelinda, certainly? And
Red Wolf's run off again.
The Markgraf, he mentioned something about blood, and they needed blood, and it was being taken somewhere. Is there any way we can follow this, or is it one of those secret meaning things?
Well, I do know that blood is a powerful catalyst for channeling magic, though it is unruly, why chaos thrives with its use.
Is there any way to sense a large amount of it, or something they might use it for? It's a festival soon, right?
is it a couple of days away now, the festival, Jim?
Oh, it is. It's actually.
I think it's like 2 or 3 days,
Like
right?
2 or 3 days?
Let's see real quick.
That's
It
what I had
is
in my notes.
actually 5 days away.
Look at that.
We had a couple sessions that were like all on the same day. Usually it's like a session a day. We had a couple that were like boom, 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 all the same day. Yeah, it's about 5 days away. Ermelinda, overhears some of this. I mean, the festival could be a catalyst. I wonder why the Markgraf was. She kind of trails off with that.
Yeah, I've sensed something of ill intent to the east. If there's something there we need to investigate, we should do it with the utmost haste.
The hills to the east, sacred to Tallites. You think that they...
Ah,
And she doesn't like the implications of this at one bit.
all signs point there.
And is there...
And Rat kind of looks like decently around him.
Uh-huh.
There's gonna be no bond between Matthias and this other person.
And he whispers it.
His brother.
Otto, you're wondering if there's a bond between them.
Well,
There's a bond.
they're family.
Yes.
I worry what will happen.
Well, chaos likes to use blood, and their blood is the same. Be wary, and keep your eye open, Rat. You may try to influence Matthias. We must stay on guard.
Rat just nods.
I'm sorry I was gonna shoot you at the start, Eamon, but
As we can both see that you didn't. So, it was never...
my trigger wouldn't pull. I tried and everything, but
Yes, as Sigmar
maybe
has
Sigmar had to back.
commanded. I would like to think so.
Just Make sure you use the magic for good things, okay? I've seen too much of the bad magic lately, and
I shudder to think of your wrath should I ever step out of Flying Rat. I promise, only for good.
This boy's rat makes him feel like he's actually threatening.
yeah, you just be careful.
And he just gives a humble nod.
And Rat will kind of go off back to his corner and resume playing with himself or the husk of himself.
All right.
Wow.
It's dark, man. It's dark.
Confession time already ended. You don't have to.
I need something for round 2, that's all.
Yeah. All right. Rat goes off to his corner. Matthias is in his tent. How about
I'm advised,
rest?
yeah, I'm gonna be, like,
anything less?
I'm re-putting on my armor again, and now I've got my hat on.
Okay.
And then I'll stalk away into the night.
All right.
Mysteriously, looking like my brother for a second.
Yeah. Anything else anybody wants to do before the night ends?
Yeah. So Yidris is gonna lay in front of the fire. That all our stuff got burnt in, but also that had originally been the ritual fire for Alaro's head. And she's gonna say a prayer to Sigmar that's more of a promise, a reaffirmation of the promise she made to keep Matthias from reaching the fate that she had seen.
Okay.
She will be the one to prevent that fate.
I think Nora will probably try and sit somewhere where it's far away enough from Yidris that it doesn't look like she's watching her, but she will just sort of perch herself in a corner and wait until she falls asleep to even think about drifting off herself.
Okay.
And in the soot from the fire, she'll do the same symbol of the hammer that Matthias had done, but in a smaller scale.
Okay.
That's it. She'll go to sleep. Her face hurt. She needs sleep.
She needs to sleep. Yeah.
And then she needs
There
food.
is-
Actually, does anyone
that's
have any
right.
food on them? Because your dress is ravenous.
Actually, any of the
Literally
food that they would have been,
starving to
any of the food that would have been on the party would have been spoiled by Eamon's surge early on tonight. If you're hungry, though, Red Wolf would be the person to talk to, as it looks like she and her wolves have been out hunting. They come back not long after everybody kind of starts splitting up.
I think if she brought food in, then Yidris would have gone over and kind of found a way to ask for some because she's that hungry.
All right, yeah. Red Wolf just, takes a portion of rabbit that her and her wolves have caught. That Red Wolf does not appear to care if it's cooked or not, but some of them have been cooked for like an early breakfast type thing.
I was gonna say what we could do is a minor retcon, and I'll take the portion of rabbit, and then as I'm cooking the rabbit in the fire, then I'll do the prayer and the
Okay,
fine,
do the prayer.
and I'll eat.
Eat.
Nom, 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 nom.
Like, ravenous. The party goes their separate ways. Some of them keeping an eye on each other, others keeping to themselves for the evening. Red Wolf and her wolves patrol the perimeter of the woods around here, and Ermelinda herself goes off into the woods to spend the night. But Ermelinda was right. You were undisturbed that evening and get, despite how short that it is, much needed rest and recuperation. As you wake up in the morning, give me an idea of what the first thing is that everybody does and what the plan is for this day.
So I think we still have to destroy the herdstone. That was something on our list to do. So that's probably what we're gonna do, and at least in Matthias's mind. So he's gonna like get all of his torches ready and just like get as much tinder and flints and stuff because he's now a little bit obsessed by the fire. So he's gonna be getting stuff ready once again in his full armor and attire, and he'll like go around because he wakes up ridiculously early to go and like kick everyone awake. Yeah, sort of crack a dawn, like kick bedrolls and where you guys are sleeping, and pretty find Rat first. Where he's like curled up and be like, Rat, wake up now. Do it.
I just want to go to school.
You've never gone to school, Rat. In your life.
What's going on? Who's
Wake up,
that?
it's time to do Sigmar's work, my child.
Where are we headed? Eamon talked about going east.
East is our destination, but first we must deal with the Herdstone here. It will weaken their power. We do that with fire.
I tried to do that earlier and no one seemed that keen. He said I was right.
No. Now get up.
You'll never get the approval of your father.
Rat's face drops and he goes to take Hope for a piss.
All right.
I go find
How about
out
everybody
Eamon's got himself up.
Yeah, Eamon is like laying up by the altar on his back, hands across his chest, and as Matthias kind of reaches out for him, he just kind of says, I am awake as I was intended to be, Matthias. He'll just sit up.
Okay. I go and find Nora.
I'm assuming you're booting her in the side or something like that.
Yeah, like if she's like clearly asleep, like she can take it. She's like,
She is like asleep, and as you do this, she's just like, and she jumps. But you notice, you suddenly realize she sleeps with her knuckle duster on, and swipes like, not at you, but she definitely swipes, and she sort of blinks a bit. And she's just like, okay, right, and sort of
It is
heaves
morning
herself
time.
up. Yep.
Sigmar's sun has risen. It is time.
She's just rubbing her eyes like, okay, and walks off to get ready.
And I go and find Idris.
All right.
Idris is still a bloody mess. But she's probably not been able to sleep very well due to the fact her head is killing her, her arm is killing her, and there's only so much you can do with like a ripped up shirt. So she's probably sat by the burnt out remains of the fire.
I think about
listening
kicking her,
to
but then I might
Matthias
kill
go
her.
around.
I lean down because she's in this wounded state, and I kind of grab her shoulder. Idris,
Matthias,
it is morning time.
it's time to go.
Can
She's
you move?
I will try.
Good.
And she'll kind of roll and try and get up.
Sigmar guides you. And I'll like seemingly pleased with the job has been done.
I feel like in her head, Idris is just thinking, Sigmar fucks me. She is having the worst morning right now.
That's one of Matthias' favorite dreams. Just saying.
Yeah. So as the group it starts waking themselves up and getting ready, Red Wolf had caught your breakfast kind of the night before and has left it for you. Her wolves and herself there are nowhere to be seen. Ermelinda is sort of out walking in the forests this early. So everybody's kind of out and about, getting ready. When I think at least one of you was probably, right, like outside of the church, right? Like how are you? Everybody's getting their stuff ready, moving about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Eamon would actually be walking around the perimeter of the church, like looking for any old like stained glass, as it's one of his kind of material components that he uses. So yeah, he'd be out there doing that.
And Nora would have just wanted to be outside, didn't want to be in there anymore.
Yeah. You see, those of you who are outside see a man walking up what is an overgrown road that looks like it connects the church to whatever main little pathways that wind their way through these woods. And you can see him still in shadows, but difficult to tell who it is. But it's a human walking up the road towards the church. Yeah, that's what you see.
Rat will kind of disappear into the forests stealthily, trying to kind of get a better eye and keep himself hidden. Do you want to roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a concealment.
And Eamon is going to go ahead and cast, since he is picking up these pieces of glass, he's going to take one of them and pull up and look at the figure through it and cast Second Portent of Amul. Just gives him a reroll, 2 rerolls in the next hour. And no wild surge, and I got it. So.
Sweet. Nice. Excellent. So that gives you a hanging reroll, basically?
It gives me, it's basically like the diviner thing. I get 2 rerolls in the next hour, and that can be any like skill, attack, also a caster roll.
Gotcha. Cool. Excellent. All right. Then in that case, you've got your divination spell going. Nora's kind of outside notices this. Rat, you made your concealment roll. Rat, you're probably first to notice this, right? You've got you've got excellent vision and a couple other.
I've got excellent hearing. My vision's. I've got good perception, but I haven't got the good eyesight thing.
Yeah, she's dead. In that case, both Nora and Rat, and really anyone outside, will see coming up the road as this figure emerges from the shadows beneath the trees and into the sunlit clearing where the Temple of Sigmar is. You recognize the Markgraf. He is stripped to the waist and wearing just a simple sackcloth kind of half skirt, half loincloth kind of thing, barefoot. He looks like there's blood coming from his shoulders, maybe his neck. His hair has been roughly shaven and trimmed off, and he is walking with eyes downcast towards the ruined temple.
So I immediately point Hope back to the temple, and I'm hoping that she can go back there and just start raising the alarm, but without giving away my location.
Okay.
Nora's probably just going to stand in the center of the path just before the temple and make herself very obvious. Not say anything, just literally stand there.
And can I silent move up behind him?
Yeah, give me a roll. The grass is pretty tall here.
And Jim,
Not that so.
Yeah.
Kind of reaching out with my intuition. It has always served me well in the past. Do I sense ill intent walking down the road?
No.
Oh, okay.
And as Nora presents herself as sort of striding across this overgrown road, and Eamon scrutinizes the figure, Rat, you're trying to kind of sneak up on him. Doesn't really turn to look at you, so you're not sure if he heard you or not. But the Markgraf stops about 10 yards away from Nora, and just like blood coming out from his shoulders, his neck. It looks like something's like he's bleeding from his back. I must speak with Matthias. was right. And that's where we'll leave off for this week.
Here I am. Heretic. Awesome. So let's do is like take it. It's like the Warhammer equivalent of like taking the black.
Right.
Yeah. Badass. It's fucking awesome. Can't wait to load my pistol up for next week. But my friends, that is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, please do let us know. Thank you guys again for all of your super generous donations, and at the end there for Straticus for the raid. We super appreciate it, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, then be sure to join us again here next week, every 4 p.m. Eastern Wednesdays, and we stream Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs. You can catch up on the YouTube series here, but of course stick around because we've got another game coming your way in just like 2 minutes time. It is Star Wars Rise of the Dark Side. So stick with us as Stride takes you guys on an adventure. I hear that there are laser battle sword deaths going on, and that everyone will be screaming dun 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 dun. There may be sound as well, so tune in for that. But let's go around. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Jim Davis, amazing goal tonight. How was that for you?
I'm loving this. I mean, I really think the sort of an exorcism or a moment of truth for the party was needed, and I really like how it all played out with the Yidris' obsession with the book, which was a great cursed item. I forget who gifted it to Yidris, but that book was beautiful. And so I'm of course Jim Davis, the other half of WebDM. You can find us on YouTube. We've got our own Twitch channel. Come check us out. We've got Patreon where you can listen to us yammer away and stuff. And of course here on Wednesdays playing Warhammer. Man, we're in the home stretch, guys. I'm curious to know how all of this is going to go down. Awesome. Very cool.
Well, it's like episode 11. I mean, we've got like 5-6 weeks left in the season. We're getting towards the end. It is the final home stretch, like I say. Oh, also, no Save or Dice tonight, right? For me, Jim and Brew.
No Save or Dice tonight. Yeah, not on Save or Dice tonight.
Happy Gumball Day. So,
it is the 4th of July. Yeah.
That's why I've been drinking this time.
Yeah.
And Pruitt.
Oh my God, Will. Jim, Jesus God, I love this game so much. Why can't we play for 3 more hours? I am just now getting into the vibe with Eamon. I'm loving playing a caster that his head didn't explode the first time I cast a spell. And so I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I'm the other half of WebDM. I'm Pruitt. Like Jim said, we got a Patreon. My game's on Tuesday night on our Twitch. His game's tomorrow night, but he's taking off tomorrow. And so we'll be back next Wednesday for Call of Cthulhu and then Warhammer. I can't wait to see what happens with the Markgraf and see how long he lasts with Matthias' gun pointed at his head. So...
Great stuff. Neither can I. And Charlie, big episode for Yidris.
Big episode. I was really excited because we had a really great discussion coming up to this episode. We were getting obviously Eamon's come in, and I was so excited to see how it all came together, and maybe an opportunity for Yidris to kind of regain a tiny bit of her former self. And she did at great cost to the others, which she will have to process in her own way. Same as Pruitt, same as Jim, same as everyone, I think. I just want to play more. Can we keep going? But if you do want to keep going, I will be in the Discord Warhammer channel, Encounter Roleplay 1, for the Q&A debrief that I kind of do every week now. I usually do it on my Twitter, but I'm doing it on the Discord tonight. So pop in if you've got questions, theories, anything like that. Coming up on Saturday at 10 a.m. EST, I am DMing over on Straticus' channel for his 24-hour Academy charity stream. I'd really appreciate if you guys could stop by, just spend some time, maybe donate, up to you. But yeah, that's my big shout outs this week. So
Awesome.
Thank you all for hanging out, Chaos Chorus, and thanks again to the group for such an awesome game.
Fantastic. And Alice.
Yeah, again, like Jim, this was an awesome session, and also everyone else playing in it. I love this campaign so much. It's so dark and gritty, and I thought we might have lost Yidris today. I felt a bit bad. I seem to be punching more of my friends than I do the enemies at the moment, and it's made me feel a little bad about it. Yeah, I'm White Rabbit Pick. I'm the other half of Scraticus. I DM over on the channel, or I'm in some of the channels. We've got a really good City of Mist campaign coming soon, and as Charlie said, we've got the Academy where we're raising money for charity for the families on the border. So yeah, be really good. But I already can't wait till next week. This session goes past way too quickly.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Gareth. Oh wait, no, sorry. Last but most least, Gareth.
Oh, I thought you'd give me a compliment. Once again, I'm the least talented of this wonderful bunch, so I've got nothing to plug. The one thing I would say is Fantasy Grounder supporting Will, which is amazing. And I think this is the last day of the Steam sale where you can get some money off it. It's really fucking good. This is my first time using it, so consider have a good look at it, because there's a good chance to get a chunk of money off. So props to them, and thank you very much as always, guys.
Absolutely. And for those of you asking, we did hit a viewer decision at the end. What we're going to do is we're going to run it offline during the whole week in the Encounter Roleplay Discord. So go over to the Discord. We're all hanging out there. We'll chat about Warhammer all the time, and we geek out and nerd out with you guys about it. So go into the Discord there on the Warhammer channel, and Jim will post a viewer decision there later tonight or tomorrow sometime. And you guys will be able to vote. Yeah, cool. Alrighty, well, it's time for some Star Wars, my friends, so don't go anywhere, because it's just about to get lit with Wars and Stars and the Starship Enterprise, I believe. Until next time, try not to throw too many net ones. We're going to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.